Ever wondered how that delicious cup of coffee you savor each morning comes to be? It all starts with a humble coffee bean, and the cultivation process is a fascinating journey. Today we dive into 10 ways to cultivate coffee. First up is the traditional method. This involves planting coffee seeds in a shaded nursery. Once the seedlings are strong enough, move them to a plant bed. After a few years, they will start bearing fruit. The second method is the pit method. Here, dig a hole about a foot deep and a foot wide. Place the coffee seed in the hole and cover it. Water regularly and wait for a coffee tree to grow. The third way to cultivate coffee is the line sowing method. Create a straight line in the soil using a string or stick. Then, place the coffee seeds along the line and cover with soil. This method allows for easy watering and maintenance. Fourth, we have the raised bed method. Construct a raised bed with sides about a foot high. Fill it with soil and plant the coffee seeds. This method allows for better drainage and prevents waterlogging. The fifth method is the wet processing method. Here, the coffee cherries are soaked in water. The bad ones float to the top while the good ones sink. The good cherries are then dried and the seeds extracted. Next is the dry processing method. This is the oldest method of coffee cultivation. The coffee cherries are left to dry in the sun. Once they are dry, the seeds are extracted. The seventh method is the semi-dry processing method. This is a combination of the wet and dry methods. The cherries are partially dried in the sun, then soaked in water to remove the remaining pulp. The eighth way to cultivate coffee is the honey processing method. The name comes from the sticky, honey-like residue left on the beans after the pulp is removed. This method gives the coffee a sweet, complex flavor. Ninth is the natural processing method. This involves leaving the coffee cherries to dry naturally on the tree. Once dry, the cherries are picked and the seeds extracted. Finally, the 10th method is the pulped natural method. The cherries are pulped to remove the outer skin, but the mucilage is left on the bean while it dries. This method gives the coffee a unique, fruity flavor. So those are the 10 methods to cultivate coffee. From traditional to modern, from simple to complex, each method brings out a different flavor profile in your cup. Whether it's the shade-grown traditional way, the innovative honey processing, or the natural processing that allows nature to do most of the work, each method has its own charm. Remember, the journey of a coffee bean from the farm to your cup is a long and intricate one. So next time you take a sip of your favorite brew, take a moment to appreciate the effort that goes into cultivating coffee. Happy sipping!